Alright, hello and welcome everybody. This will be my first YouTube video, as well as a starting guide to Azur Lane. I want to wish everyone who's new a player welcome into Azur Lane, welcome into the world of boat girls and shifus and waifus. This guide will be pretty much my beginning guide to 2020, as Azur Lane has progressed immensely over the past 3 years of what it's been to be. I know there's a lot of guides and stuff like that on Azur Lane and everything now, but I thought it'd be important to make another one since the game has changed so much over the course of 3 years. So this mixture will be a mixture of also mistakes that I see a lot of new players making, or things that I think that would be more of a tipful beginning. I was joining as a new player, so let's go ahead and start on with that. Now, top 5 mistakes that I see a lot of new players not really doing or focusing on is the fact that my personal pet peeve is if you go to your dock, you can see that now the level cap is 120, and then you limit break at level 70. Now, there's a lot of people telling people to not limit break at level 70, which is a very controversial topic. Honestly, I don't like that opinion at all. One, it's going to slow down your XP gain tremendously. All that XP that you're gaining is literally going to be just tossed away. You're not even going to be gaining anything. It's going to be just thrown in the trash, and you might as well not even, you just wasted all your oil. You might as well not even do that map anymore or farm anymore. Pretty much your main goal as beginning off is to get a main mob fleet and a main boss fleet that will help you progress through the chapters in your runs. So what is necessarily a mob fleet? If you go look at your chapters, aka any story mode chapter, when you're going to run, you're going to have a thing called your mob fleet and your boss fleet, which is how we'll break it down. So if you look right here, my fleet 1 is my mob fleet and my fleet 2 is my boss fleet. Now this is for my hard mode runs, which we'll go into later. Your mob fleet will be typically consist of a couple of ships that will typically deal with the boss patterns that are on the map. Now, each map is going to have different notes that it's going to spawn, consisting of 1 or 2 or 3 tier cruisers or battleships or aircraft carriers that are going to be on the map. Now, a lot of you ask, what do the stars mean? So the stars are XP gain buffs. Now, a 1 star is, I believe, 1 times XP, the 2 star is 1.2, and then the 3 star is 1.4 XP per ship. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean anything to a new player, because they're not going to understand what that really means, but that means that necessarily you want to take on the hardest nodes that you can in that map to increase your XP gain for your ships. Now, the other thing that I see is now, since you're starting a new player, you're not going to have a lot of good ships. A lot of the good ships are either going to be event locked or they're going to be some type of gacha, which necessarily I don't tell players to start throwing money at the gacha unless they really want to be that, person that wants to go and spend all their money into the gacha and get the ships that they want right away to help them automatically. I don't believe that's a good source of way. Eventually, through just playing the game, you're going to get ships that are going to be able to carry you for a start off and anything like that as well. Consistently, what I say for a beginning mob fleet is that always pre-level, at least if you get one, a decent BB. Now, a lot of people are going to start off with like California for their BB, or like Rodney or anything like that. Those battleships are pretty decent enough to actually help you progress through the story pretty decently. Then your main goal will be getting your CVs like Unicorn or Shoho that you can get in different maps. Getting trash mob fleets like Phoenix or Leander. Leander is a common ship that you can retrofit into a blue ship, which she will progress to become stronger. Now, another issue that I see is that the fact that people think that common ships, when you get a gray ship, that they're not going to be worth it. Now, a gray ship doesn't technically necessarily mean that they're bad. As I said, like Leander, she's a gray ship, but when she gets retrofitted, she becomes a blue ship, which actually increases her stats quite well. For our common ships, she already actually has 2 insanely great skills, which she has an ability to artillery command cruiser and a smoke screen. Smoke screen increasing her evasion, and the artillery command increasing her firepower for all the cruisers that are in her fleet. Now, other cruisers such as you know, castings down, stuff like that, will also have a retrofit that would be loyal oil consumption, which loyal oil consumption you should bash the thought of anyways, because your main goal is to make progression and get XP through your higher chapters. The other issue is the fact that everyone thinks that the SSRs that you get, like the gold ships from the gacha itself, are going to be the best ship primarily. That's not necessarily true. Yes, the SR ships are stronger than most of the elite, but there's a lot of elite ships or retrofitted ships that can compete with actual high 10 end ships. So necessarily doesn't mean that you should always be aiming for SR and stuff like that when going through the game itself in progression, because if you keep aiming for SR ships, your fleet cost is going to cost an insane amount of oil. If you look at the oil in your top left, your oil when you begin starts very minuscule. I believe you only have access to like 3,000 oil. Now in a progression, when you actually level up, you will actually get your oil category to advance. Doing progression through the stories, doing your daily missions, doing everything like that, you'll be getting coins that you can upgrade your canteen to increase your oil production and your capacitivity of your actual physical dock itself. Same thing as your merchant. Your merchant will give you passive coins that you can use to buy, you know, boxes, to buy prints, to buy upgrade your ships, to all sorts of things. Not gonna really go into that mainly. Category we really won't go into because I'm gonna make a separate video for that. That's more of a in-game content level thing. Tactical class. This is another thing I see a lot of new players forgetting a lot or going past, is because when you begin the game you're only going to have two. I would say unlock your third slot as quick as possible so that way you can max out your ship's skills. You'll get your books through your daily missions. Each day a new mission will come and reopen through day. So like, for example, Monday, Thursday, and Sunday you have escort mission, which is going to be to your blueprints for upgrading gear and stuff like that. Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday is going to be your skill books that you can use to upgrade your ship girl's skills and everything as well. Tactical training is for core data, which is for expanding past level 100 now. As I said, the new level cap for your ship girls is 120. So what you do is that you'll be gathering data core things from events or from your daily missions, and you will use that to escort your ship past level 100. Each amount increases depending on level and also depending on rarity. Now your final one is Fierce Assault, which will be open Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, which will be for gearboxes. Now each one of these categories, if you open it for example, will become higher and higher tier as you progress through commander level. Now you'll have level 110, you have level 10, 25, 35, 50, and 70. 70 being the highest, even though I am commander level 120. Being level commander 120 isn't really anything, it just pretty much says that you're a sweat try hard at this game. Anything like that as well. Your commander level is just pretty much dedication to the game. It doesn't really unlock a lot of things besides like maxing your canteen for oil and maxing your canteen for coins. That's pretty much it. Or leveling up certain chapter notifications, aka you have to be a certain level to expand to different higher chapters. Third one I see a lot of people miss, especially as a new player, is the ability or the lack of the ability to actually physically do PvP. Now, a lot of new players are going to be scared at P because they're going to see literally these people with 13,000 or 12,000 plus strong defense on Vanguard, and they're gonna be like, well, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Why would I want to sit here and watch my ship girls suffer and die? Well, that may be true, but the other thing is that one, it costs no oil, two, and it costs no coins, it costs no resource for you to do that, and even if you still lose, you still get half the XP gained from PvP in general. So this would be a good source of actually a good amount of XP for you during your time of leveling up as a new commander instead of sitting there and farming chapters. Don't skip out in PvP, because PvP also earns you merit coins, which as a new player is especially good. You have access to things such as golden boxes, which if you want to buy, I would recommend buying, but you also have access to bullens. Golden bullens are extremely not there as a new player. So getting access to a golden bullion will not only help you one, level up your ships early, but two, give you more bullions and everything that you can to actually upgrade your ship girls and get you started and start getting your XP game better, your firepower, your ship's main skills better, everything like that from going on. All the other stuff like core data, this will be from your dailies. There's a core data. You will get this from your hard modes. Your hard modes will drop certain amount of core data for you to use to buy certain things in the shop. Now I'll probably make a separate guide for this one specifically because there's a lot of stuff in here, especially for new players, that they don't understand what half of this shit is. And as an experienced player that's been playing for 3.5 years, I know most of the stuff in here is pretty useless for a new player and shouldn't really be bought in because it's just a waste of core data. So we'll be going over that in a separate video, especially the prototype as well. We'll probably make the prototype and the core data a actual physical video together. General merchandise, this is also, as I said, when you get coins, you can use them to buy boxes, to buy books, to buy everything like that. Like I'm going to buy this red book because these are really rare. Yes, that one costs gems, but I actually want it because red books, as I said, are extremely rare. I don't get red books. This game is very mean when it comes to red books because half the ship girls use red books. Another thing now with Azur Lane's update that I recommend if you're wondering why your game looks extremely laggy, if you're going to play on an emulator or you're going to play on a phone, if your phone can handle it, I would recommend going into your options. They updated the game now to play in 60 FPS. So if you have the phone or playing on an emulator that has the ability to play in 60 FPS, switch the game to 60 FPS. It is way more efficient for you. It's not going to stutter. It's not going to lag. Everything like that as well. Your account. This is very, very important. I always recommend binding your account. One, this saves you from lost progression. This two, it saves you from if they do have an update and you didn't bind your account and you're going to go play on a different device and you don't remember what server you went on or you don't remember anything that you did, you just lost all your progression that you did off that prior excuse. Bind your account to Facebook, bind your account to Twitter, bind your account to a Yostar account, whatever it is. All three of them are super easy. If you don't want to do social media like Facebook or Twitter, I understand a lot of people really don't want to do that just because of social media and how it is. Bind your account to a Yostar. It's one of the easiest. You literally just link your email and then they send you a passcode to log into the game. Super, super simple. Now, other fourth thing going in that I see a lot of new players is they skip Akashi's quest. Now, you don't necessarily have to get Akashi, but I 100% recommend getting her due to the fact that she is one of the strongest healing ships that you can get as a new player. And as a new player, she's going to be one of the longest commission-based stories to obtain her. So the quicker that you start her commission, the quicker that you're going to get her, because you're going to have to hoard certain resources such as Sakura boxes, coins, oil, all that crap, certain plates. You're going to have to hoard that for her to progress in her story to obtain her. After the 30 days or 30 trials, you'll obtain Akashi. She'll give you your cat paw, so you get an exclusive item while obtaining Akashi, and now you have one of the best support ships in the game that can heal. Gives you 3 emergency repairs that you can use during a chapter that will physically heal you and your ship's gain and actually get you back into the game. How to obtain Akashi's quest is that you see her, you'll spam click on her about 30 times. I've already done it, so she's not going to do anything. You'll see a little short notification pop up on your screen, and then she will start your quest. You can go into your missions to view that. Second one, and last and final thing I always see is the dorm. Dorm is very important. This is your source of passive XP, passive morale, passive income, everything like that as well. So these are the ships that you necessarily don't really like either want to level, or two, you just want to throw them in there and get them some levels while also grinding, which you can actually do. If you look in the top corner, you're going to see a thing that says happiness. Obviously, you're not going to see it because my face is covering it, so that's my fault. I apologize. But in the corner is a happiness bar. The higher amount of happiness, the more percentage XP that you will gain. For example, mine is at 458 happiness, so I'm getting 82% XP gain per it. How do you get that? There will be dorm sets that you can eventually buy with coins that you'll get from daily missions, from anything. Sometimes Joestar themselves are very generous and they give that out as well, and they will give you physical missions and stuff like that to obtain certain items and stuff like that. These dorm sets will have a certain happiness that they'll give you, and then you go from there. You can decide to collect all the pieces and all that and make a cool dorm and everything like that. Mine is preset with 2 dorms. I have the new Polaris idle event dorm and mixture with some of the old Polaris event idle dorm that I made myself. Now with the new update, you have the second floor. This is completely up to you if you want to obtain the second floor. I highly recommend it if you're going to be a new player and you primarily want to focus on grinding XP. The second dorm is a very, very good way for XP gain because, one, it's pretty much damn close to infinite morale if you don't kill your ships during battle, and they stay themselves during battle. So as you can see, the higher level you begin, they have higher mood. Their recovery is 60 per hour. At the time you're farming, depending on how long your battles take you, most of the time you're going to be recovering this morale consistently over the course of time, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it is a very expensive piece to add on. It's about 1,000 gems for the set itself, and then another 1,000 for like the actual slots. So it's completely up to you. I don't really recommend that as a new player unless you physically want to get into grinding. The only really thing I do recommend is, as a new player especially, if you don't want to spend a lot of money in the game right off the bat, is this beautiful thing right here called the trade license. A lot of streamers or content creators actually really don't talk about this physical thing of the game. The trade license is a very good source of, one, you get 500 gems right off the bat. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot comparing to most skins are over 500 gems, or a lot of items are over 500 gems, but besides the point, you get 1,000 coins per day, you get 200 oil, and you get 1 cube. And now a lot of people are like, well, wow, 1 cube, that kind of sucks considering that the events themselves cost more than 1 cube per ship. Well, cool thing about this, 1, it lasts 30 days. 2, it stacks. So when you constantly run out or you don't need it, this item stacks mail. So you can use it. As you can see right here, I have 41 mail. I have a mixture of the trade license, a mixture of server compensation, server maintenance, and a bunch of other events that have happened. You can stack that mail and be like, hey, I'm running out of oil during this event and I need to grind this event. You can go over to your mail, pop it, get some oil back, get some coins, or hey, I'm running out of a gacha, I don't have enough for a certain build, I need certain ships to build, and I want these waifus that I want to build. You can go right over, get some coins, get some oil, and then get some cubes and go over to the gacha and slap that for you and go and play that. Now, the other great thing about the trade license is that you have it at all times, and it expires after 30 days, which is great as well. The other thing is, things that not really worry about as a new player is, one, guild. Guild, as right now in the game, is just a glorified chat hall. So unless you have a friend that makes one or wants to just like have a glorified chat hall with a bunch of other friends, yeah, go ahead and join a guild, have fun, chat with each other, all that stuff as well. Friend system is the same thing as this glorified friends. You can chat with each other, send each other cool email and stuff like that, talk about, hey, did you get this ship, did you get that, what's some good ideas, stuff like that. As of right now, if you want to be friends with a person, for example, let's say your friend plays Azur Lane, you need to be on the same server as they are. If you are not on the same server, you cannot be friends or communicate with each other or talk with each other. Unfortunately, there is no cross-server platform as well integrated into Azur Lane as of right now to help people with that sort of communication issue. Unfortunately, hopefully that will be implemented later or anything like that. Now, I'll go into some other things that you can buy during your course of gameplay through it. If you go ahead and look at the borders around my waifus, that means that they are oafed. Now, when you go through battles, your ship is going to gain infection for you. Your affection increases their stat bonus efficiency and everything as well, and then once they hit 100, they'll be able to oaf. Some ships will have an oaf skin, some will not, some will just be flat Jane Marys. As you can see, Sandy finally got her oaf skin released. So this is her oaf. If you look at her oaf, once you oaf her, you can get them to affinity 200, which then will increase their stats by, I believe, 15% after they are officially maxed, and go from there. So oathing in the system, you don't necessarily have to oaf your ships. As a new player, once one of your ships actually becomes oathable, Yostar will give you a free ring to begin with to oath your first ship. After that, they will cost 600 gems each to oath your ship. Oathing is not recommended since it is a lot of money, stuff like that, to actually do, and I wouldn't really want to waste money for a new player because their main focus is to actually get into the game and enjoy it and not suffer. So that's another main thing. Another main thing is going off with your missions. You're going to have main missions to do every day, side missions, dailies, all that fun stuff. Do your daily missions. This will maximize your oil, your cube, your coins. You get free bullens, you get free parts, you get free badges, you get free stuff. Who doesn't like free stuff? So make sure you're doing your dailies, make sure you're doing your daily commissions. Your daily commissions will upgrade, as I said, once your commander level goes up. So in the course of time, you'll always have stuff that you can upgrade and go through and increase your overall consumption as a new commander or experienced commander, and you'll get new access to a bunch of new stuff. A lot of things that are going to really confuse people is like, what is this lab? What is this cattery? What is all of this? There's so much new stuff for new players that they really feel intimidated when they come in, and that's what we're here for. We are here for you guys to understand the new stuff for the game and kind of help you out and kind of guide you in a direction, not to really worry and just sit back there. If you're interested in stuff like what it is, lab is pretty much going to be like your research. As you saw me, I just gathered one of my daily commissions for research. Research and is for your PR ships, which I'll actually go over a little bit right now. I'll go into full depth later. As you can see right now, we're in PR season 3. Right now there's PR1, PR2, PR3, and soon to be PR4, and then our new update, which I'll be making a video about once it actually officially gets released so you guys can see what it looks like, will be Operation Siren. Operation Siren will be a new expansion to Azur Lane for a open world cinematic where it does not actually cost physical resources. It will have its own resources that you'll physically use. It'll be new experiences, new enemies, upgraded parts, new equipment paths to upgrade into certain things, stuff like that. We'll go into more detail over Operation Siren once the game actually physically releases. Pretty much what PR is, these are in-game ships to look for. As I said, I'm not going to really explain much of it as it is right now because I don't feel like as a new player that's really focused for, because a lot of new players aren't going to go towards PR for their beginning. They're going to mainly focus on getting through their chapters, as I said, setting up a team and getting through there and everything like that as well. Before I go, the main thing I'm going to probably share with you is some couple of ships that are actually good to begin with or aim for when you're actually starting and looking for ships to begin with. Now, when you physically start Azur Lane, you're going to get what is called your starter. You're going to have a choice between Javelin, Ayanami, and Z23. Now, these will be your starter choice DDs that you will have. That will be your very first ship Fu Girl that you get, and probably, honestly, depending on how you are, your first Oath. Now, my core recommendation for the 3 starters would be either choosing between Laffy or Z23, aka Nimi. The main reason why is that Javelin out of the 3 isn't very comparable to the two. She's more of an evasion or a boost to an evasion of a fleet that needs evasion, because her skills don't really focus on damage, versus where Nimi and Laffy will focus on damage primarily. Now, Nimi, this will be her retrofit and her oath skin. Nimi is personally one of my favorite starters. Her very first skill is Ironblood Vanguard, which increases her main gun's firepower chance by 60% for 8 seconds, even though it only has a 5% chance to proc. But honestly, that 5% chance is like 50. So it's very generous and everything like that as well. Nimi is a very good starter, especially once she gets her retrofit. She gains destruction mode and becomes an insanely good firepower burst DD. Laffy as well is good. Everyone loves their drunk bunny character, as I'm an idiot and I can't find mine constantly because they all have the same freaking skin. But you get the point. Laffy is everyone's little favorite bunny character. She's very good as well. She has the War God of Solemn perk, which she actually gets a buff to her firepower, reload, and evasion. So that's why typically a lot of people will pick Laffy. Is one, because she's a cute drunk bunny. Two, she actually gets 3 buffs to her main stats instead of Nimi's 1. But hers is only by 40%, so she loses 20% compared to Nimi on firepower, but she also gains a plus 40% in reload and evasion. And then her retrofit turns her into annihilation mode, which even increases her firepower even more and everything like that as well. And then going from there, you can obtain the rest of the starters through either other missions, aka higher chapters and stuff like that. And then once you get your higher chapters, I would recommend limit breaking them as soon as possible, so you can obtain the girl on my screen right here, aka Ayanami. Ayanami is part of this category called right here called the collection, which will be the last thing I physically talk about. Once you get a certain amount of ships in the same family, as I put it, Yostar gives you these cool little things called like a collection, where they'll give you either like a ship model, or they'll give you another character, they'll give you gems, they'll give you some interesting other stuff, wall scrolls, stuff for your dorm, all that crap. So once you get the starters to all their limit break, you'll unlock Ayanami at 15 stars. Ayanami, compared to those 3, is the strongest torp destroyer in the game as far as torp damage and everything as well. Her retrofit can turn her a complete demon. There's a reason why she is named a demon, because she is a torp hammering beast. Everything right here, your collection, is in the course of time, you'll pretty much gather everything that's in your collection just based off leveling up certain ships. I pick certain ships to level, so that's why a lot of my stuff is not reached yet or anything like that. Retrofitting, which I'll explain this shortly, is pretty much thinking of as like an upgrade, kind of like a Super Saiyan upgrade. So in the course of time, when you do hard modes, you're gonna get plates that look like this. So you're gonna get these boat plates that are for cruisers or battleships or aircraft carriers, whatever. Ones will be gold, ones will be purple, ones will be blues. Certain ships will need purples and blues. Some ships will need purples, blues, and golds to upgrade their retrofit path. Their retrofit path, what it does is it actually increases certain base value stats of the actual physical girl, and either one gives them a new skill, gives them a new outfit looking kind of thing, and then increases their overall stats and their rarity. For example, the starters are elites, so once they get it retrofitted, they'll become SRs. And then we have a couple of SRs that actually got a retrofit. So Warspite has the ultra rare retrofit, same as Sandy, because those two are already SRs, so they got retrofitted into ultra rares. Last and final common thing, probably the most number 1 or 2 mistake that I see everyone open is, I got these white boxes and I got these blue boxes as a new player. Yippee, finally I can actually start getting new gear and my ships are not suffering. Wrong. Do not open blue and white boxes. They are not worth it. They do not give you good gear. They're terrible, honestly. There's not a lot of good gear that actually even comes from a blue box besides fire extinguisher. Nothing comes great from the white box. or anything like that. So what you can do is you can actually take these blue boxes, you can hit the button that says craft, you can use 5 of them to make a purple. So upgrade your blues into purples, upgrade your whites into blues, upgrade your blues into purples. Unfortunately, you cannot upgrade into golds, but upgrade into purples, open your purples, and then start going from there. You'll get way better gear out of your purples than you will physically out of your blues and everything like that. Same thing as your skill books. You can upgrade your skill books from purples to blues. Save some blues because some retrofits do take blues. Save some blues because you're going to be using those, and then upgrade them into purples once you really don't need blues from there or anything like that. Dorm, obviously there's food. You'll gather food in the course of time and all that stuff just from doing daily missions, from doing daily battles, events, stuff like that as well. Well guys, this is my entry level of a beginner's guide into Azur Lane. I hope you enjoyed. If you do have any questions, come and actually follow me. I am a Twitch streamer. You can come and follow me at twitch.tv/kisswill_pwns, PNWNS, and come and follow us on Twitch. We stream practically almost every week from random times due to my job. It varies on that, but come and hang out with us. You can also come and join our Discord, which I will link in the bottom of this video as well. And if you guys ever have any questions, you can join our Discord. Feel free to contact me. I'm always open to help out new players. And I hope that this beginner's guide did help you a little bit. And if anything, feel free, comment, subscribe, hit that follow button. I gladly appreciate it. And I'll see all you guys again next time. Until then, take care.